Okay, let's get right into it. Today, we're looking at a company called Aja, and they're doing something that, well, on the surface, it looks like it's breaking all the classic SaaS rules. They're building a platform and a product at the very same time. So, are they geniuses or are they just a little lost? Let's figure it out.
This is the question that pops up constantly for the founder, especially from investors. In a world that is obsessed with super-focused, single-solution startups, building a whole platform from day one, it can look like a huge red flag. That's a pitch killer right there. It can shut down a conversation before it even really begins.
And that's really the big puzzle we're trying to solve here. Is what Aja is doing a fundamental contradiction? A sign that maybe they don't know what they want to be? Or are they playing 4D chess, seeing where the whole world of enterprise software is headed?
Well, the answer, it really comes down to context, doesn't it? This question of platform versus product, it's not some simple thing with one right answer. The right strategy depends completely on the world you're building in.
In this slide, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. See, different parts of the world, they grow different kinds of companies. Here in the US, it's all about foundational models. You go to China, it's deep into industrial AI. And in India, with this long history of SaaS success, the focus naturally shifts to vertical AI products. Your strategy is basically born from where you live. Okay, to really get what Aja is doing, we have to kind of zoom out and look at the bigger tech landscape. It's not just a simple choice between product and platform. There's this one hidden layer that almost everybody overlooks.
And here they are, the three big layers. Think of it like this. Way down at the bottom, you've got protocols. These are the basic rules of the road, like the internet itself. Sitting on top of that, you have platforms. This is the space where people build things, like an operating system. And then right at the top are the products, the ready-made solutions we use every day. See? Products sit on platforms, and platforms sit on protocols. So here's the big takeaway for any startup out there. Trying to create a whole new protocol from scratch, that's a non-starter. It's almost impossible unless you have massive global power. But a platform, a really powerful one, now that you can do. And that's the strategic sweet spot.
All right, so you're probably thinking, okay, a platform's the end game, but why not just start with a simple product first? Seems like the safer bet, right? But here's the thing. In the world of AI we live in now, that safe route, it's actually a trap. And there are three big reasons why. First off, let's be real. Building software is way easier than it used to be. With AI helping you code, a tiny team can whip up a slick product incredibly fast. What that means is you have a great idea, boom, 100 clones pop up overnight. It's a bloodbath, a total red ocean, and your competitive edge, gone.
Reason number two, and this one is huge. Big companies, the enterprises, they just don't trust black boxes for their really important stuff. They need to have control over their data, their AI models, their rules. The idea of shipping their most secret data off to some random third-party server? Absolutely not. No way.
And number three, that whole build versus buy argument, it's totally obsolete now. With this new agentic AI, AI that can actually do things on its own, there's a whole new way to play the game. I mean, why would you start at the beginning of the race when you can start 80% of the way to the finish line? It's just way more efficient.
So all of this, it leads us right to Aja's big idea, their answer to all these problems. They've got this thing called the fungible core. And trust me, it's a whole new way to think about software.
So at the very center of Aja is what they call the Enterprise Strategy Agent, or ESA for short. The best way to think about it is like a reusable brain, a smart backbone for the company. And that word, fungible, that's everything. It means this core system can be twisted, turned, and reconfigured for totally different industries without ever having to rewrite the code from scratch.
And check this out. This shows you just how insanely powerful this idea is. You take that one core, that single ESA, and it can become an equity research tool for a bank, a drug discovery assistant for a pharma company, or a market intelligence platform. It's like having one supercar engine that you can drop into a race car, a boat, or even a plane.
So how do they solve that whole control problem for big companies? It's all about these three levels of control. Aja acts as the super admin building the core engine. Then the company, the enterprise, they're the admin. They can plug in their own data, their own models, their own rules. And finally, the employee at the end just uses the perfect custom-built tool.
And right there, that layered system, that's the secret sauce. It lets Aja give every company a highly customized solution, but they don't get stuck being a slow, clunky consulting company that builds everything custom from scratch. This is how you get customization, but at massive scale. Okay, so when you put all these pieces together, you start to see a much, much bigger picture emerging. Adya isn't just building a clever tool, they're trying to build the entire operating system for the future of business. This here really breaks it down, the old way versus Adya's way. Before, you had two bad choices, right? Buy something off the shelf that doesn't really work for you, or spend a fortune building it yourself. Adya comes in and says, hey, there's a third option, a much smarter one. You start with their powerful core and tweak it, or you use their platform to build something totally new, way faster. So when you boil it all down, what is Adya really? It's not just another product. It's not just another platform. It's an operating system for the whole enterprise, powered by this new kind of agentic AI. And if we look down the road, say to 2030, this is the big bet. This idea that one giant piece of software runs a whole company, that's going to seem so old-fashioned. The future is a central brain, right? A system that connects and pulls all the strings for all the other tools, data, and AI a company uses.
And that, of course, leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. Is what Adya is doing, is this just a smart move for one company? Or are we looking at the actual blueprint for all enterprise software from here on out? Something to think about, right?